This symposium, S3, has evolved into an international platform for thought leadership on urban sustainability solutions. It is a meaningful effort by NTU and partners to bring together, focus, and synergize the important work from a diverse range of stakeholders and disciplines.
The symposium is to support sustainability and highlight multidisciplinarity, multi-stakeholder, multicultural views and collaboration that supports the creation of solutions for sustainable cities. Sustainability and smart city aren't different animals. They are of the same fabric. They share many of the same key and overarching issues, goals, and solutions.
The fourth industrial revolution can help us take major strides to make our cities more sustainable. We need to keep asking good questions and sharing best practices so we can find the optimal ways to build smarter and more sustainable cities. And it is only through these conversations that we can pave the way for a better shared future.
We live in a very interesting time. If you look at it from a historical perspective, not only is this planet becoming one, not only are we moving into an abstract world of internet, but also we live in a time when the government is the closest to the people in democracies that we've ever had.
If we have disruptions, yep, they strand assets, but they also create new possibilities. And we're living in a world where environmental scarcity and sustainability are forcing us to examine a raft of new technologies.
I suggest that, in fact, responsible innovation destabilizes both. That the public sector has to be involved upfront in bringing the public in, and the private sector has to start thinking about the public good.
We must have active participation of children in the policy making and decision making process. We hope to secure the dedicated implementation of sustainability principles by the children. Otherwise, there's no point of us talking of any sustainability principles, practices, if the next generation are not buying into the process.
And gender equality is actually one of the key sustainable development goals. I would also say that having women on boards most likely will make a difference to the environmental performance of companies, because we know that women tend to take a more caretaking attitude towards these types of issues than men.
Millennials are getting a huge transfer of wealth over coming times. The older millennials in their 30s are starting to take over, join family businesses, take over family offices. Millennials show a demonstrable greater affinity for sustainability than previous generations, and I think this is a really great thing.
The finance sector has a crucial role to play in fostering sustainable growth by creating incentives for companies. This can be done by tying the cost of capital and the conditions of access to capital to sustainability.
Technology is obviously, it's not just devices or equipment. It can be a platform, it can be a system, it can be methodology. And technology needs innovation because we need new ideas. But on the other hand, it could be a new technology to solve an old problem or existing problems, or an old technology, but we find a new use in a new problem that we can apply to it.
I think in the past few years, we have seen a lot of sustainable products being very successful. For example, Tesla's electric vehicle and Nest thermal equipment. I think the reason they become so successful is because they combine a very energy-saving product technology with a very cool product design.
So today, I'm really glad to say that sustainability is really a mainstream agenda on both political and businesses and all that, and it's no longer a pitching line, okay? More than 176 countries now today, I think, has already ratified Paris Agreement, and UN SDG is gaining tractions.
But fast forward to 2100, what do we really need is to have wide collaboration, because problems demand that collaboration. But what does that landscape look like? There's high coordination costs, very different time horizons, different pressures, different incentives. Incentives are not aligned, and there's low trust and respect among the different stakeholders. And until we solve that problem, we will not be in a position, I espouse, to take science and put it into practice.
That the most critical and important thing is sustainability to succeed is the leadership. And when I talk of leadership, I'm talking of three different kinds of leadership. And it is the collaborative effort of all these three leadership. And I call it trinity of leadership. Then if these three leadership work in collaboration, then only the sustainability is going to succeed.
That for virtually any jurisdiction, the direct climate benefits it reaps are going to be, from its actions, are going to be less, much less, than the costs it incurs, despite the fact that the global benefits of its actions may be greater, indeed much greater, than the private costs it incurs. That brings about the free rider problem, which is why for this environmental problem, international, if not global, but at least international cooperation is absolutely essential.
But I don't understand why we shouldn't try to find out, with a great kind of innovative spirit, why with bonds or maybe some other financial tools and instruments, we could try to trigger a market drive, and including a much better measurement quality in the impact measurement than we have today.
I think the national banks may actually have an influence in where we go with our economies with very small changes. And this is a very important actor in the entire play, because the national banks can do certain things which are for a politician impossible, which are for an industrialist impossible, which are even for an NGO impossible.
That this world does not belong to us. We have borrowed it from our children. And the earlier that we are able to hand this over to them and to train them and give them the information they need to make decisions, the better off we will be.
The future of sustainability is for us to imagine together. The practice of sustainability is for us to create together. And the fruits of sustainability will be for us to enjoy and protect together.
Sustainability is an adventure. It is not a package tour.